Hello class, today I'm going to be doing a demonstration regarding fire, and it's going to be checking in the Scba pack. Okay, every morning when you check in, you're supposed to check your own Scba pack. In this case I'm going to be checking in RM2. We have the lieutenant, RM1, and RM2. I'm RM2 on the truck, rescue man 2. So I'm going to check in my Scba pack. I actually check all the Scba packs in as part of my job, but I'm just going to focus on the one Scba pack today. Okay, first, look at the Scba pack. Ensure that it looks okay overall. Check your straps. Look for fraying, look for damage. Check the cables. Check the connections. Make sure they're tight. Okay. Check your expiration date on the tank. This particular tank has an expiration date right underneath the tag, so I can look at that. And it's got an expiration of 9 to 13. So the testing of this tank, the hydrostatic testing is good for another year at least. Okay, the first thing you do, turn it on. Turn the Scba pack on. Okay? This is why we check it in. Turn on the Scba pack. Okay, and when you turn on the Scba pack, make sure you turn it on all the way. The reason for that is, if you turn it just a little bit, what can happen if you're in a fire and you bump up against something, the valve can turn off if it's open just a little bit. So the thought there is to open it all the way. You turn it all the way open. Down the bottom of the Scba pack, check for you have a pressure gauge on the tank itself. Okay, check that first. In this case, it shows that it's full. Approximately 2,160 pounds is what we're looking for. These are 30-minute tanks. Okay, turn the tank over, and on your control, which is your gauge that you look at when you're actually in the fire, if you hold the button down, the screen will light up and tell you how many pounds you have here. On this pound, it shows 2160, which is the PSI that we're looking for. And also the gauge itself shows that it's in the full, and that gives you an indicator as well. So you have two different indicators here. The light volumes are low to where you are. Okay, the alarm that just went off, that's part of the PASS device, a personal alert safety system. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to stand by for a second, and we're going to make sure that the PASS alarm works properly. The idea of it is that the tank remains, if you go down in a fire, the tank remains stationary for 30 seconds. If it stays stationary for 30 seconds, you get 3 different levels. You get the beginning one to warn you, and the second one is a little louder in case you didn't hear the first one. And then you get a full-blown high decibel alarm. And we're going to hear it in just a moment. Okay, that's the first phase, then it's going to second phase, then it'll go into third. You'll hear all 3. Okay, you're able to stop that. Okay? When you're in fire, you don't ever want it to get to that because someone will think you're down. If you're down, you let it go off. But if you're not, try to keep moving because you don't want someone to think you're down in the fire when you're actually not. Okay, another phase of checking the Scba pack in. Check all the straps to make sure the straps are fully extended. Sometimes when a firefighter gets back from a fire, they'll have these straps cinched down because you cinch them down to tighten them up on yourself. But if you get a call and you try to put the pack on, it takes a lot of time, especially in an emergency, to try to extend all these straps. So at this point here, we're going to extend. We're going to make sure that all the straps are extended. Okay, you've got the 2 shoulder straps, and you've got 1 waist strap, and they're all fully extended. Now what we have to do is we have to bleed the system, because as we heard, the alarm is still going off because the system is still pressurized. So you take your mouthpiece, and you're going to turn the bleeding valve. Okay, you can hear that it functions. Turn off the tank fully. When you turn it off, don't crank it down super tight. Not necessary. Just tighten it, just lightly. Okay, now bleed your system. Fully bled. And then you go to your controller. You heard the noise. That means a low air. Okay. So now, what we did, we purposely bled the system, so obviously it's low. When you hear that acknowledgement, that means that you're off. And the system's going to show off, like the electronic display. Okay? Now the last thing you should do is check your mouthpiece. Your mouthpiece is always covered up to keep dirt and debris obviously out of the system, because it's a delicate system. It's very tough Scba pack, but you don't want dirt or any sort of debris to get inside where you're breathing. You don't want to jam up the mechanism. You certainly don't want to breathe anything nasty. And there's a lot of nasty stuff that we deal with. So, okay, keep this covered up. Just a visual check. Make sure the locking mechanism works. And essentially that's it. Just make sure that every day it's imperative that you check this piece of equipment in. This is a life-saving device. If you have a problem with this in a fire, it's too late. Always check this first thing in the day, because as soon as you get on shift, you might get a fire, and then you have to go, and then you're stuck and not be able to check this piece of equipment. Come a little early if necessary, but you got to check this piece of equipment in. All right, guys, that's in a nutshell. Until next week, thank you for listening.